Hey guys, this is an update on the Gen 6 454 for the 25-foot Corsair. I got the timing cover and the oil pan on, and basically the timing cover cleaned up really nice. It's got a new seal in the front. That's the old seal. The old seal was good, but because it comes in a kit, it takes just a minute or two to knock them out and press the new one in. So it's got a brand new seal, and it is directional. Sometimes I don't clarify that, but sometimes marine engines are operated in reverse, and you have to be real careful about the direction of the seals. So this is a standard rotation, so it has a standard rotation seal. The oil pan, I dropped by a buddy's shop this morning in Fort Lauderdale. He sells a lot of used parts, and he wanted $200 for a good oil pan. The oil pan that we pulled off was the thin stamped metal oil pan, and I had this oil pan on the shelf. I've had it for, gosh, probably about a year and a half, and it was super clean. I got some nice pictures of it, but it also has like a windage tray in it, and which is a really awesome feature. But I went ahead and just included this. The client and I, we can work the price out over the phone or something, but it'll be a fair deal, and it'll be better than trying to buy something off of eBay. And no sense in going with a heavy duty aluminum. It's just not necessary. And this has, I don't know what this coating is, but it's kind of like a rubberized coating, and it is a Mercruiser brand, so it's designed for saltwater environment as well. Brand new gasket under there, no sense in going into that. This is a head. I didn't get to show this head. This was the head that was still on the shelf the other day, and was in the wrapper. But this was the head, if you go back to probably the third or fourth video, that was just visually it was in brutal condition. It looked like it was really rough because the exhaust manifold had pretty much seized to it. But you can see now how well it turned out. I think there were 4 positions that had to be remachined, or bolts drilled out and cleaned and stuff like that, and then the machinist decked the surface to accommodate a really good fit, because there was some erosion there. I bought a brand new oil drain nut, but that's intentionally blocked off because they're completely inaccessible anyway. And the way that you'll change the oil in a boat is you'll vacuum the oil out through the dipstick tube. So what else? I haven't talked about these block plugs. I'm going to be knocking these out, and I'll do a final rinse of the block now that everything's connected. I usually leave these in, just, I don't know, sometimes I knock about, sometimes I forget, but I just want to clarify that those will be replaced in the event, the client's watching the videos and thinking, how come those are still in there? So those will get knocked out, and they'll be bronze as well, or they'll be marine grade, they'll be brass. And this is the head that you guys have already seen. Obviously, it would be hell for me to try to flip it over with the camera, because I have to put an extension on this. I usually have them fairly well, so I'll try it. Unbelievable. I can't believe I did that. Okay, on that note, now that I do have it flipped over, I got the new push rod in. It was an exhaust push rod, and those two are torqued to 40 foot-pounds. I run back through the top to verify to make sure. And then also, this is something that's really critical. I forgot to clarify this. You have to be extremely careful. These rods will get offset in the top of the, I'm sorry, I didn't have it in the camera. These push rods will get offset in the top of the lifter, and you'll start tightening everything down, and it'll feel fine, and it probably would jump into position, but you have to always double check to make sure that these are centered. And I don't believe I clarified that the other day, so always be careful when you're doing that. Basically, just the front view is looking really good. It's coming together pretty fast. I won't put the rocker covers on it yet, because once the intake and everything goes on, now that I have the oil pan, I can prime the system and use this priming tool right here. This will drop down through the intake and then go all the way down in there and sit and lock in, and then I can prime it with a drill. So I'll show that later on, but never done it without an intake on it. I may do it anyway regardless, because I want to get it primed up and make sure everything's pumping well. I don't think there's a lot to discuss right there. This is pretty important that I haven't had a chance to talk to the client, and it's one of those things I've known about since the beginning of the job, but sometimes it's best to just keep things to yourself until you know it's time to talk about them, because you don't want to overwhelm the client. This is called the coupler, and this fastens to the back of the flywheel on the back of the engine, and it is in an inboard outboard configuration. It is what couples the engine and the crankshaft and all that jazz to the outdrive, and this one is for a small block. When you see the the diamond shape, that's for a small block engine, and they're not heavy duty enough to run on a Bravo, let alone on a Performance 454. So I dropped by my buddy's shop where I was talking about the oil pan earlier, and he doesn't have any couplers, but there's a possibility that he's always getting stuffing in all the time, so I'm hoping that he'll call me back shortly with a good deal on a nice used 454 Bravo coupler, because they can be close to $500 new, and usually I'm able to get them for about $250, $240 from him, and they're from freshwater boats, and they're really good product. So anyway, hopefully we'll keep our fingers crossed on that, and hopefully we can save some money. But I don't want to put this back on the boat. It's too small, and I don't know how or if it's true, but I've heard that they'll create a harmonic vibration as well because they're so small. Who knows? I don't know if that's a myth or if that's true, and also it's in pretty nasty condition. So I don't believe there's anything else to talk about related to that. Yeah, so I'm gonna shut the video down there. Thanks guys, appreciate it.